Oh my goodness. I mean, another question is, can Warlock stand all these aggression from the MIPSI? I mean, he's a very good counter aggression with the golem throwing in, and also the slow down, and also the heal. And if you are the Warlock player, which is, I think this one is going to be yeah. Um, are you going for a defensive skill build, or just go straight for maximize the first skills, the fatal bond?
It really depends. I think you have enough AoE to make use of fatal bonds, but in general, you do want to go for shadow words. You still tend to go by 5, 2, 3, 0 by level 5, so 2 points in fatal bonds, 3 in the shadow word. You can max out the chains, but that will leave your lane a little bit more vulnerable. Again, you don't have the best lockdown to keep them in for you to use the fatal bonds outside of Avalanche.
Yeah.
And that can make things tough. Execration, though, put up the Kunkka here. So again, more flex Cyclops. It's still open as to what's mid, what's safe lane, and what's off lane. I think the DP start to look like her off laner, but again, could still be maybe a cheeky support. I think the Tiny could be a cheeky support as well. There's some flex here for Bob to play the Kunkka, or the DP, or the Tiny. You could run a Palos Kunkka, a mid Tiny. That sounds like probably the best positions to pit these heroes. Very open. Execration does have last pick overall, so they can kind of keep things open, but just look at that sustain, right? DP, Spirit Siphon, Kunkka Boat, Shadow Word on top. You do have good burst on MIPH, but they have enough stall from Execration as well.
That's true. That's true. Another big question is, when the game's getting very late, like 40 minutes plus, you haven't seen the last hero. Which side do you prefer at the moment? The first 4?
From the first 4?
Yeah.
It's a bit tricky. I think both sides are pretty equal in draft. It depends on the timing. I think early game Execration feels maybe a little bit better. They have better push to take objectives. But MIPH, they have a better mid game and scaling. Just because TA is really nice. They have a lot of aggression, and I think if the TA gets an early start again versus the Tiny can have a moment where he feels weaker and gets kited around by the TA and the Earth Spirit. So it's all about timings. I think we talked about this a little bit, right? Like MIPH does love to be aggressive, and I think their lineup is suited for that. So maybe I lean towards MIPH just a little bit more. I think they know how to run this kind of tempo with their heroes.
All right, thank you for that. We can't wait to see the last hero from both sides, MIPH. Oh, Kunkka, Day Prophet, Tiny, and Warlock seems to be all of them seems to be a very hard target for the MIPH. The only thing that I worry about them, about MIPH, is the will damage will be enough. I think they're gonna need damage producers on the last one. Okay, that seems to be a good answer for that. Ember Spirit. Mid.
Yeah, it should be our mid. The matchup against Kunkka can be a little bit awkward. Kunkka can just play with, Tidebringer. You've always got the X back on Ember, which is not the most reliable lockdown, so it can still be tough to keep the Ember down. But that's the damage you were saying, Cyclops, right? Like, you've got Sleight of Fist, you've got even more minus armor to play with. If you do go for, say, Orb of Corrosion with the TA, you can run everyone down on the side of MIPH very early on and use your mobility. Like, outside of X and Avalanche, the hold of Execration still kind of dicey, especially once BKBs come in. Once BKBs are up, only the Warlock can really stop you, and that's not a massive threat just because Golem cooldown is super long. Now we have to see Execration where their flex is at. Are they running support Tiny? Are they running a core Kunkka safe lane, Tiny mid, DP off, and last picking a support? It does feel like they need a very good pause 4 here for their own aggression, and it doesn't feel like many options are left. It does look like MIPH is expecting a core, though. Like, they ban out Lina and they ban out Bloodseeker just to ensure Earth Spirit, Weaver don't have a hard time. Mid lane matchup, Lina versus Ember is pretty good, so they take it away. But Execration does have a lot of ways to work these lanes here, man. It can go either way with their heroes here.
That's true. That's true. Last 20 seconds before we hop into the first bloodbath fight of the day. Oh, what a game to start for commentators, for us, I mean, you see these heroes, definitely going to be a lot of cars going on for sure. And the last one is going to be Bristol back, a hero that, people saying that it's already a washed up hero. Why are we seeing Bristol back in this 7.31D here?
Well, we're seeing it because you're playing with Warlock, right? Like you're
Ooh.
playing with a Warlock lane, you can just heal the Bristle back up. You can just
Awesome.
keep farming, hit that early timing, be extra durable. I like the combination though, right? Bristle back for Palos with the Warlock of Vincenzo RR. You have a lot of sustainability
Yeah.
there. You can just play aggressive, keep running up, burn down the side of TA, burn down Rupido. The Dawnbreaker matchup is a little bit awkward for Rupido. Level 1 to 2 feels good. Level 3, once you have, say, 2 points in Quill Spray, a value point in the Bristleback, it can get dicey. And you even have a good slow combination. Upheaval plus Nasal Goo can keep people down and give you enough time for the Bristleback to just chase them out. So I like the way Execration's gone with Draft. It's still a bit back and forth. I think they ended up even on Draft here, Cyclops, but I think I'd actually lean Execration just a bit. They have the support Tiny for Shanks. They have the Warlock Bristleback. We've seen that really do a lot in the games we've seen that combination in. So they just need to play a little bit faster in Execration, but they have a lineup that can really snowball.
Well, that is also not a main thing that back then. I remember I cast a game of Execration maybe 3 or 4 months ago. That main problem I remember is the early game. They're always like not doing okay in the lane, but well, if with all these heroes, with all the sustainability that you talked about just now, if they can survive the early game, get into the mid game with a plan, a proper plan, order by order, then I think it got a high chance.
Yeah. They just need to execute. They need to play with the tempo this lineup provides them. The one thing for Execration, I think we have to see them push. They need to play around with the Death Prophet. They need to play around with that Exorcism. Try to get that early aggression going. Try to, get that mid-tier 1 down really quick. Pressure the TA. If they can do that, then it feels pretty good for Execration here.
That's true. That's true. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the game. The first game of the best of 3 series, MIPH versus Execration. Let's do a little bit of the introduction. MIPH on the Radiant side, he on Weaver, Ken on Templar Assassin, Rupido on the Dawnbreaker, Lucify on the Earth Spirits, JG on the Ember Spirits. May I leave the Execration side to you?
Of course. On Execration's end, you've got Palos playing on the Bristleback, the Kunkka being played by Bob on the mid, DP played by Tino on the off lane, the Tiny played by Shanks here, and Warlock played by Vincenzo. So no big surprises in the end there. It's still going to be an exciting back and forth. Already some all chat coming here. I can fill you in. Lucify is asking if they can still do it. And Bob is saying that they're full of themselves. They're kind of overconfident, braggy, too proud. So again, it's Filipinos versus Filipinos. The all chat kind of comes in at the start here, Cyclops.
For sure, man. Not gonna be a quiet match, definitely. Maybe a fight right off the bat, who knows? It looks like they're gonna secure 2 for 2. Nobody wants to start the fight too early. Alright.
It's a 3-for-1 start. MIPH, he managed to snag one away.
I was wrong right from the start. Okay. Hopefully I'm not gonna miss the first blood, because the first 5 minutes of the game is so under pressure for me.
Yeah, it's where all the action breaks out, right? Like first blood, there's a lot of pressure to look for it, and a lot of pressure to just get the action going. We can start down bot. This is maybe one of the slower lanes.
I was about to say that you should give me a hint. Which lane is interesting?
I think the bot lane is pretty stable. It's a Weaver plus TA. First few levels don't feel amazing. Down the line, it starts to feel pretty good. You can Shikuchi around, harass down. Shanks is very vulnerable here. Zero armor, tiny support. So once Ken can maybe land a couple of side blades, maybe get the meld up. Shanks just melts if he's not careful.
True. A decent damage. And I really hate that when people playing that Weaver as a support, he's got a very high power when it comes to harassing. Next thing you know, he's behind you and start doing the Gemini attack, and then you're done.
Yeah, they don't even have the sentry to punish. We talked about the control from Execration. Avalanche is probably their best bit. Shanks does opt for the tree grab early as a support. So the support Tiny going for the right-click harass. I mean, there's some value there. It's not really where the hero shines on the pause 4. So that's something MIPH is using against them really well.
Oh, man, look at that. How deep they go in for the Execration on the top lane side. With a heal from Warlock, I'll keep on spamming. Rupido in deep trouble into the tree line. That might be the first blood. Hey, Rupido spinning it around, and Palos got the first.
Yeah, I mean,
Great.
yeah, what did we say a while ago? Cyclops, right? Like bristleback
yeah, you were
warlock, they can
correct.
just dive. The bristleback's just so tanky. The warlock gives you enough healing. It doesn't matter. You can just run up. The damage output of the Earth Spirit and Dawnbreaker, level 1 to 2, just isn't big enough. And Palos is just free to do what he wants. This is him at level 2. Once he hits level 3, level 4, it becomes even harder to punish at. Although try now.
Look at that. But hey, a decent damage coming out from MIPH side as well. Palos about to go now after he gets the first one. How is it even happening?
Yeah, he.
I mean, I thought he gonna snowball already, man.
They just punish. You know, he oversteps. There's no mana in Vincenzo, but you're seeing that combination, right? The Fatal Bonds comes out, and then the Quilt Spray stacks up. They're trying again on Vincenzo. Don't find a roll. But if you land that Fatal Bonds and start to build up the Quilt Sprays, that is a painful lane. You just have to watch your mana management, because when Vincenzo's out of mana, the Warlock can't really help you. He's just a creep.
Maybe do a little bit of a ranged attack, you know, try to scare him? No. The attack is very, very soft. Should we just go back to the bottom lane and watch this one? It's still a harassing lane here. Chang's trying to get as many last hit as he can. Tino taking care of him. Oh, I'm sorry. Tino is getting last hit and Chang is trying to zoning around. Mid lane still doing fine, more like a friendly match. JG versus Kanka. It's all about how good reflection of the JG is when Kanka start to, you know, harass him with the X mark and the torrent. On top, looks like they are catching that Warlock.
Yeah, just a bit out of steps there for Vincenzo. Does get punished. That is the weakness of the lane. You just look for the Warlock, take away the Bonds, take away the Shadow Word, and you can instantly melt him. You know, he's just like paper. You know, you've got two big hitters, very tanky. If you isolate the Warlock, it's very easy for MIPH to punish.
Alright. Okay. 2-1 game score, guys. In the first 3 minutes, it's pretty even. We are about to see a lot of maneuver from support into controlling the rune and also maybe helping out the lanes. Talking about the cores, I still think that the Execration is stronger in all 3 lanes.
Yeah. And they're finding a little bit more CS. They're getting some early aggression. They're rolling up top here, though.
Yeah, a little bit of misstep. Once again, getting in too deep, but Palos trying to turn his back on with a heal on. That's going to be quite dangerous situation for him, MIPH. Don't underestimate that. Come on, bro. Palos still moving in. And Dawnbreaker doing everything he could. Man, that was so close for both sides.
Yeah. You have to appreciate what Paolo said. He was out of position because he bought his Ring of Health. Still in trouble, though.
Again? Another commit on Palos. Missed the hammer. Walking around trying to spam his Quilt Spray. And he's fine.
I mean, that's a bit optimistic now. With a Ring of Health up and the Shadow Word on top, this is so much healing. Palos is just not dying. Has the wand up at 13 charges as well, so gonna be able to just farm as he wants, and the Vanguard timing's looking pretty good here, Xyclopz. Once that's up, that physical damage starts to get blocked, and Bristleback just gets bigger and bigger.
One interesting thing for Zhao is Bob teleported down to the bottom lane seeking for a kill, and it seems like he actually aimed for Weaver instead of Ken. Maybe because of the Ken got the invisibility skills and just standing still. Tino Spirit Siphon, he knows that he's not gonna go down. A toss into the tower. Tower shooting on the Weaver as well. Teehee in trouble, and Teehee falls. What a play by Tino on a red blood.
Yeah, that's a lot of playing on the edge, having trust in Shanks to follow through with the avalanche toss, getting the chain stuns to ensure Tino lives through. And as you said, you know, all the lanes here for Execration are looking good. Maybe the mid lane's the slower one, but it's still a great time for Bob, and they're doing a great job of just locking in Ken.
It looks like the aggressive early game lineup support. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I missed the kills at the bottom. He finished off that Tino. I was about to say that they picked a very aggressive support for the MIPS side. They might have to make it count for that, you know. As we can see, Lucifer is trying to just moving around, seeking opportunity mid and also top. And we might get to see Weaver go soon. Okay,
No.
now some big fight happening around here. X mark the spot bat. Shooting the ghost ship at the first time. And oh, looks like Bob in the end found himself in the middle. Oh wait, but he splashed it out. Got 1 kill before he go down? Is he? Yes, he is.
That was a, what was that? A 1 versus 3 there, Cyclops? 1 versus 4 for a long time, and Bob
Yeah.
still manages to dance around, forces those resources. You talked about aggression there, Cyclops. MIPH, I mean, they've got Dawnbreaker, they've got Earth Spirit, they've got Weaver supports. These are highly mobile supports, global presence on the Dawnbreaker when the level 6 is up. They need to start finding more, right? I think the kills Execration have found feel bigger. The kill on Bob was pretty nice. But it's MIPH that feels like they should be the more aggressive team. You've got this Earth Spirit that hasn't achieved much. They need to start getting some punishment in. Look down bot. Tino's already pushing in with Exo. No one's stopping him.
Yeah, that's true. Especially for the Ember Spirit that you mentioned about just now. It was Kunkka instead who moved around and teleport down to the bottom lane. Now it looks like 4 of them. Execration grouping up, looking to kill 2s inside the tower and get the tower at additional price. Here we go, side of it, Avalanche of the Troll, Solar Guardian, the support is right here. From the sky he goes. Ghost Ship not gonna hit anyone, but Lucifer was the first one to fall first. Celestial Hammer being thrown. Man, so many spells, but still very, very healthy HP for Execration Hero. Look at that, Tino full HP. Time to spam the Script Swarm and on to save his teammate. Fire Remnant down to finish off that bomb first. And the rest of Team MIPH need to retreat due to the low HP. Can Teehee get back home safely? Parlor showing up from nowhere and finish off that Teehee too.
Yeah, that's massive. They just keep running at you. The sustain from Execration, the buff from the ROM is just so big. They're still going here though, Tino.
Yeah. But can they get that Tino? Tino, even though you look like that, he's quite tanky to be honest. I mean, 13 armor in total, face boot, and 2 new.
It's enough to keep you alive. And you already have the level 3 Spirit Siphon, so the healing, the damage from that is enough to really sustain you. And just look at Palos. You said he came from nowhere. He's just playing on mid, taking over that bot jungle already with a tier 1 standing. And he has that full Vanguard. This Bristleback's just super tanky. In comparison, Ken on the TA, he's still farming. He doesn't even have a Dragon Lance up. They need to buy more time for Ken. And that's down to all the heroes of MIPH outside of the TA. They've tried. They've been running around. They're just not finding the kills they want. They kill off Bob. Great, sure. Amazing. But you're not able to take care of Tino. You're not able to take care of Palos. These guys are just getting bigger and bigger, and the Kunkka will still be useful with less itemization anyway.
Yeah,
like,
that's
in
true.
the end, even if all he gets is the BKB, just being able to use the boat buff is big enough in these fights.
Yeah, with all the spells, use a tall lane and actually hit. Hey, do you think the aura items will be good on Execration lineup? I mean, sustainable aura or something?
Could be really good. I think something like a Wraith Pack could be really helpful in terms of dropping some damage. I don't know if someone can really build a Vlad's here. There's some room for maybe a Guardian Greaves. Although, again, we don't tend to see that build up on a lot of heroes anymore. Even just a casual mech would be nice. But I think just going for straight BKBs on your cores, maybe going for a Glimmer and a Holy Locket on Vincenzo, that could be enough. You don't need much more than that. You can always itemize for, say, the mech on Warlock down the line.
Hey.
Seeing that shove in again, bot. Tino does back off in the right time here, though.
Wow, it's just perfect timing before his teleportations of the MIPS falls down. And, deny the tower. It seems like, I don't know, I have a feeling that MIPH is dancing in Execration song at the moment.
They force the deny bot. That's 3 TPs down bot there as well. They go on to mid. And they have 3 heroes, 4 heroes clumped around mid, just shoving in. They don't fully commit. They're playing this really smart on Execration's end. You know, just keeping the farm, controlling the map, making it awkward for all the heroes to find farm. And Ken is farming, but your Ember is not, your Dawnbreaker is not, the BKB timings are going to be stalled out, and the physical damage output isn't ramping up. Like we talked about Ember maybe going for that fast corrosion, it's not even up yet.
Yeah, it's true. Man, it looks like all the Radiant NC being controlled are completely in control by the Execration. They put a lot of the, wow, such a deep aggressive ward by the Execration, and now, just like you say just now, that the only one who farming of MIPH is Ken. And definitely Ken cannot carry everything on the late game by his own. And look at that, the supporter being found once again. Avalanche and the Torn, an easy kill on Lucify. They might get this mid tier 1 tower as well. And if you lose this mid tier 1 tower this early, man, deep trouble.
Yeah, it's a 12-minute take. No defense coming out from MIPH. Instant TP's top. Ken's not safe.
Yep, X-Matter spot into the Torrent. And he's some gold ship hit on him. Refraction still save him though. Solar Guardians coming in. The attempt to save Ken though. Oh, nice one by Rupido, spinning around the hammer, fire remnants in. They turn from bad to good so well for Team MIPH. The hope is still there for MIPH after a bad early game. Look at that save from the Solar Guardian and Rupido. Tino fall, killing spree, and then they're still chasing on that bomb. Searing Chain lock him down. Another Celestial Hammer. Rupido finish it off. Double kill for him.
To get the punishment this time around from MIPH. Just a bit curious though. Ken canceled his TP.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to stay around and fight. He dies in the end. So you sacrifice 2 heroes for 1, but you slow down the TA. What's you throw away your DP, you throw your Kunkka, sure, but the TA still kept down as well. Ken doesn't get anything from canceling his TP. He was safe there, Xyclopz. The Avalanche was gone, the Torrent boat was gone, the X was on cooldown. He was going to TP home. When he saw the aggression from his team, he stayed. And that makes that fight a little bit more awkward. It's a win for MIPH, but you don't want to lose your TA at all.
Yeah. After that fight, the net worth is still not swinging back to the MIPH. It was still like 3k ahead. And I mean, it could be much better, like you said, if he just decide, hey, go bro, you're all good.
Yeah. It's worrying because you see Palos leading up now. 7.6k on the Bristleback. The Ags is almost done.
Crazy.
And once you have that AoE viscous nasal goo along with a fatal bonds, it gets pretty scary how much the Bristleback can do in a prolonged fight. MIPH though, they're smoking up here, Xyclopz. They're looking for that kill.
Oh, all right. This is gonna be a first big team fight. If 2 sides clashes, I think. Yeah, just hanging around, see if something can happen. MIPH looking to play more aggressive toward the dire NC, just to shut down the farm of Palos. Chang sits on top, might be the prime target around here. Lucify sees the target, into the tree line he goes. Locking down Chang's. Trying to throw the target away, but he will be found inside anyway. Half HP already. Surely done job for the MIPH. Hey, he can stall for so long. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean he forced 2 heroes top. Even Ken starts to show up. Maybe feeling he needs to help out or just farm that area. It's a support tiny, it's still not the big kill that MIPH wants, but it is helping them build up. You've got the full Spirit Vessel running on Teehee. They want to keep the charges up. They want to use those charges as well. But Execration's game plan is good. They go back farming. They just build up. They're waiting for that Ags on Palos, which is flying out now here, Xyclopz. They should be ready for the next few fights. BKB's almost done on Bob as well. They're almost at that timing where it's back to the aggression.
True. Bob. Almost done. Once the BKB up, it's gonna be a totally different story for him. IPH, they are running against the time bomb. At the same time, Execration also against the time bomb too. Because I mean, if you take a look at the late game, like you mentioned during the draft, you believe that MIPH heroes are better in terms of scaling. So
yeah, I think they still have like that great scaling lined up. They have some ways of itemizing to deal with Bristleback. Bristleback kind of hits a plateau down the line. Although, speaking of, they're surrounding Ken.
Yeah, now the fight happening out in the middle lane. Almost. Well, if the situation goes like this, I think it benefits MIPH more.
Yeah, and you're stalling out for Ken. He has the blink up with Dragonlance. He's inching towards the Desolator here. And he has caught up. Number 2 net worth still 2k behind Bristle. But you're at the point now where it's only the Bristleback really finding that big farm. Everyone else on MIPH and Execration are kind of equal outside of Palos. So this investment in Palos has to pay off for Execration. We have to see that bristleback action kick in. And we also haven't seen Execration play with her teamfight spells. Like, we saw a lot of exorcisms earlier on from Tino. Not much recently. We haven't seen a golem drop.
Yeah, have you
from
seen
Vincenzo.
it? Not
No,
even
they haven't
once?
used it at all.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember that was one game I played Warlock. He managed to get dropped the golem in only one time in like 45 minutes game. I don't know what I am holding for. I just was waiting for the perfect fight, man. But hey, look at the bottom lane. What's going on here? Solar Guardian is here as well. Yeah, that's gonna be a kill on Tino. Killing spree already for Rupido. It seems like MIPH officially fight their way back.
Yeah, they're getting the tempo. It's Execration that's not willing to go around right now.
Yeah.
They might be, though. DKB up on Bob. Off on a bit of a chase, but not finding anyone. It's a bit curious that you don't have a form of self-dispel here for Tino. The Spirit Vessel just kills him. His regen doesn't kick in. He only has the Heaven's Halberd, which is nice against TA, but that doesn't feel like the issue right now for the side of Execration.
My goodness. Oh, is he that? Yeah, alright, alright. Are they gonna clash down the river? Nope. Down to the river to pray. And now they're in the Roshan pit, just in the face of MIPH. It's just like sending invitation card. Are they gonna commit?
It's a bit tough for MIPH. They don't have the Solar Guardian to connect with. They do maybe have that roll opportunity. Lucify has to really find a good entrance here.
Throwing the Celestial's Hammer first, 25% HP, about to get the first edges of the game. Slide of Fits. It looks like MIPH surrounding the Roshan pit so well. Ladies and gentlemen, who is going to get the first edges of the day? Thalia shields everything. Trying to steal, and Palos get the kills and sending in some gold chip. Everything falls out in the small pit. The first one for is Lucify, follow up with the JG. The rest of MIPH need to retreat. They kill the Roshan, but the one who picked up the Aegis is Palos.
Yeah, I mean, good snipe in the gold at the very least, but secondary life and bristle is still massive, and they're still fighting here.
Ooh, got caught, man. That's a big catfish.
Yeah. Go fishing in the river, catch something big, can caught off guard, couldn't TP this time. And now it's a clean fight for Execration. That was the first golem drop. Xyclopz paid off the patience of Vincenzo at the right time.
Yeah.
And that was big impact in the tight area.
Perfect,
Good bonds coming through. And now it's 10 to 12. 3k lead still stands for Execration. Not massive. You are still finding some catch-up form on Ken, but it does feel like the TA still needs more time. The Desolator's coming through now, Xyclopz. So the damage is coming through, but you know, you need the BKB here for the TA. There's no way you can fight in without that spell immunity to avoid the X, to avoid the avalanche toss. It's just so much control. They're still playing tag bot. You know, Teehee was around there, but hard to lock in the Weaver without the X. Still, Execration with that Aegis, they should be able to just group up, play with Exo, the next Exorcism, and just go for a push hold though.
Yeah, Solar Guardians out to the bottom lane, and they managed to kill this time around. Chance falls quite easy. They want to commit full? No, sending in Ghost Ship and hit on the Earth Spirits. The rest of MIPH looks like, okay, we are done. Let's make it a trade.
Yeah, it's support for support. You don't mind that trade too much for MIPH. They're building up on some of their win conditions here. Giving that kill out to Teehee, probably not the biggest here to get.
Oh, Rupido. He needs to use the BKB just to run away from Palos. Man, that's not a good sign. Look at that. Celestia's Hammer just gonna increase a little bit of the distance. But that Palos, look at that.
Yeah, doesn't care.
Hey, brother, I want to ask one item about the Bristol. I remember, back then, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, people love to just play Bristleback with the Eternal Shroud. No, why don't we see Eternal Shroud these days?
It's a situational build. You know, it depends on what you're going for. I think offlane Bristle still tends to go Eternal Shroud, and that is still a pickup you can do from pause 1 as maybe third item. The Vanguard just feels better here because you're dealing with a lot of physical, right? Like you're dealing from right clicks on TA, dealing with a Weaver. It's a bigger threat than the magic damage they have, so you would want that physical block. But it's still viable. You know, if you had more magic damage on the side of MIPH, you might just see Palos go for that Hood of Defiance, Ags into the Eternal Shroud, and that's still a viable pickup. It just depends. Situational.
Nice, nice. Avalanche toss, throwing in the top tier 2 tower, trying to get rid of the Templars in. That's crazy damage dealt to the tower as well. And he managed to just get away safely. And also his teammates, Teehee. Looks like they're just trying to kiting that execution around until the edge is gone off. They might have to just grouping up and trying to do some objectives, maybe the mid tier 2 tower, but Palos still split with the group and yeah, on top.
Yeah, they're not really pressuring the map as much as they'd want to. I think you have pretty good wave clear though from MIPH. That mid tier 2 is pretty low though, Xyclopz, and they are grouping up with the Exo system here.
So, JG is here, teleport down, already placed the Remnant, and they start the fight with the Searing Chain, turn the BKB for that Bob. Where is Palos? But they have this can manage to fight 4v5 no problem because of the Tino's ultimate Exo system. Maybe push the creep wave in and then it should be cool. Palos hanging around on top, waiting for Ken to just come out from the shadow, and he cut out the creep wave here.
Yep. You find the tower, finally getting that objective you talked about there, Xyclopz. And now they can just swing top. They don't have creeps here though. So backdoor is going to kick in a short time, and Fortify is there. That will drag them away, but no Fortify left. They find JG.
Oh, okay. Okay, Solar Guardian down to the middle river, and Kunkka. Wow, that's a crazy damage output from the two. JG seems to be back in the game. Searing Chains on 2. Slide of Fist, everything. Weaver is joining the team fight as well. The BKB in the middle of the team fight for Rupido. Oh my goodness. Seems to be a good fight for Team MIPH Execrations. Are they reaching that limit? That is the question. Tino, Spirit Siphon, Slot, trying to stall, trying to buy some time, but he's gonna fall in the end. What?
Yeah, that's pretty awkward for Execration, and Pavlos comes in, he's running away from the TA, he doesn't want to force that direct fight. 4 for nothing trade MIPH's way, just managing to get a great Solar Guardian and kind of forcing Execration to respond in an awkward manner. They find a mid-tier 1, they don't really have the best opportunities to go for more. Aegis expires, like you said, Xyclopz, kiting Execration around, not allowing them to use that Aegis to its full potential. And MIPH will hang on. They've got the build-up. The net worth gap with Ken and Paulus is a lot smaller. Both heroes at 14k. BKB up for the TA with Desolator. So you're at the point where the TA is actually a lot of damage. It's hard to keep her locked in. You're going to need a Golem. And that's a long cooldown. You don't want to rely on your Warlock just to lock in something like the TA.
Man, and the way that Ken playing this TA is just running at his own backyard. He can play this one with eyes closed. It's his favorite heroes. And also JG. Okay, rolling Boulder to the higher ground. Boulder smash, a silence, trying to stop on that Kunga, waiting for the damage dealer to come in to finish the job. And that's what I'm talking about. JG slash him off. Ken. Desolator stabbing on the Palos as well. Palos going for easy target first. Rubido inside the tree line, but he turned the BKB, so he will be fine. Lucifer helping him. Oh, smashing back into the higher ground, Ken. Here we go, not looking good for Dawnbreaker. Oh man, what a game it is. Slide of Fist in. Oh man, it's a trade and trade and trade. 17 to 15 game score. We still don't know who is gonna come out this fight alive. Turn the BKB and also the Exo system too. Eating on that Lucifer. The rest, Ken and JT just need to fly their way back home. And it's Ken who got caught. Triple kill for Tino. Oh my dear lord.
Nah, that was super awkward from both sides. I think Bob started that fight popping his BKB, trying to run away from the Earth Spirit, and then just kind of collapsed from there. In the end, they focus in too much of the Bristleback. Palos with a full Assault Cure is just so tanky. We saw some right clicks coming in, not enough to melt him. And even Tino is tanky now. He has the full Lotus Orb up. So he does have that Dispel for the Spirit Vessel. He feels very secure. And now you're starting to see the sustain game come back. They've got some stronger, effective HP with the armor up. And that just counteracts the TA. That counteracts a lot of their physical burst, which their lineup is kind of hinging on. You've got Dawnbreaker, who's sort of physically burst with Starbreaker and Luminosity. You've got physical damage on JT. They catch out Bob again, though.
Yep, half HP already. Bob seems to be a little bit quiet in the past 10 minutes. He always getting gone on first, being found, and being forced to just use the BKB and just turn back on the enemy. And it wasn't a properly positioned to fight like that. So, man, what a crazy game in the first game of the day here. At first we thought it's gonna be a one-sided game in favor of Team Execration, but this is not at all, and it's a really 50-50 game.
Yeah, it definitely is. Again, they did face each other recently. I didn't know until we were about to get in here, but they faced each other in something called the Kazimodan Cup. That went 2-0 MIPH's way.
Yeah.
They won that 2-0, and you're
Convincingly.
seeing why this is very convincing. And this is why the matchup is a lot closer here as well. If you've never seen those third-party tournaments, MIPH has some fight in them. They understand Execration, but it looks like Execration used that match really well. They've learned from it. They know their conditions, and they're building up. Next Roche in about 10 seconds. Another big fight to break out in that Roche pit soon, Xyclopz.
Man, is Ken gonna build that Divine Rapier this early in the game? This is actually the earliest I ever seen.
Yeah, that's spicy, but yeah, it does feel like they need damage. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you saw him try
What about
to
something
pierce
else?
the
I mean,
bristle.
like the critical or straight to the
mean,
rapier.
Yeah, straight to the rapier. Why not? Just melt them down. Deal with them fast before the sustain game comes. They need physical burst. Roshan has begun here, though.
Okay. Alright, smoke it up. Remnant being placed inside of the Roshan pit. This is going to be a very crucial one. Let's see how they're going to start at. So let's shield some. Throwing in some hammer. Alright, who's going to get it? It's going to be Paolo second times in a row. Dropping everything. Golem is right here. X-Master spots and in goes ship 2. JT killing spree already. It still looks like it seems to be a good fight for the MIPH. But the rest of Team Execrations, oh man, look at the positioning. I don't like the positioning of Execration at all. They stick too near to each other. Now they're being wrapped around like a burrito by Team MIPH. But they still fight on. Got a little bit of the HP, but looks like JT dancing here and there. Fancy footwork by JT with the fire remnant, killing one by one. Now he's running. Oh, almost goes now because of Palos. Tino dominating though. Down to the river, he still got his exorcism on and Spirit Siphon connected to that Ken Celestial's Hammer, trying to save his teammate Ken. Ken running out of refraction and Ken's down.
Oh man, Xyclopz, that's a very spicy burrito wrap. I don't think MIPH expected that spice to be on them. It looked like a good fight to start with. As you said, Execration's positioning, they got wrapped around. Great surround coming out from MIPH. They managed to kill off the Warlock early, removing a lot of that sustain. It's still not enough. You're seeing the damage issues. They just can't kill the bigger targets. And that's why the Divine Rapier was queued up by Ken. He changes it now. He's going for a Orchid Blood Torrent, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it'll fix it.
Oh, they're trying to force their way in. Look at that. They're fighting in front of the Tier 4 tower. Tier 4 didn't even mind. And it's repeat of falls. Next one going to be River 2. 2 down for Team MIPH. And they are at the risk of losing the first set of racks.
Yeah, and great creep cutting by JG. So no backdoor protection pierce here.
That's good.
For Execration, stalling out the game a little bit more. But I mean, how do you deal with Palos? How do you deal with Tino? They have so much armor, they have so much HP, they have so much regen with Spirit Siphon, and Bristleback doesn't even have regen. He usually just has Warlock, doesn't matter. He's just too durable when the back is turned. They're playing tag with JG here, though.
I didn't... Oh, wait. Yeah. Shanks being found. I think JG gonna get it. Maybe buying a little bit of time. Nope. I didn't even plan to get into the first game of the day like this. I thought it's gonna be quite peacefully, like quite tactically, and then someone make mistake with the draft and just go straight to game 2. No, this is pretty even in terms of the draft, in terms of the skills, the way they plan. Both sides has a really good preparation into the match, and we still don't know who's gonna come out of this one.
Yeah, it is looking Execration favor though, right? Like they've found that early start. They've already started to be aggressive on the high ground, but MIPH are still holding on. JG's playing like a madman with the Yags, stalling out really well. not enough to stop Execration from taking over the map, but they don't have a push. Look at the creep waves here, Xyclopz. There's no opportunity to push onto the high ground. The creep waves are shoved against them. They have it down mid again, though, so they'll try.
Yeah, Exorcism is on, everything. And there goes the mid-tier 3 tower. How can they stop that one? Exorcism of the Emery Rose and someone being thrown in the middle, and its dominant streak ended with no buyback, and I'm not sure how Execration knows about that. They go straight to the mid-tier 4 tower. They want to end this one without Ember Spirit. How can they hold? Hold! Oh my goodness, and there goes the 3. 32 minutes in, Execration trying to force it. Celestial Salmon trying to stall it. They might have to retreat a bit, and now they lost T-He, but he has to buy back damage output from that Ken, still holding on to the tree. Crazy Solar Guardian in the middle of the fight, saving his teammate and dealing damage at the same time, and spinning around. Oh my goodness, what a crazy game it is. Can they hold? But they lost the Solar Guardian with no coming back. No buyback. T-He die back as well, triple kill. Maybe this is a time. I am not really sure. Everyone of Team MIPH being forced to the fountain. But can they have enough damage to take the 3 down? Go for the throne. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4. And there goes GG called.
Yeah, it's an outstanding game from Execration. Constant aggression from both sides. But the veterans in Execration use that experience from the third-party tournament really well. They learn from their mistakes. They go for this ultra-durable draft. I think if you look at the draft order there, Xyclopz, it feels like MIPH was baited in, right? We saw the first phase Tiny. We talked about the flexibility of that hero. They picked the TA, thinking that TA versus Tiny core, TA does have early tempo. But it became a support Tiny. Execration brings out the Bristleback combo with the Warlock. Still a strong, chains lane, and Palos just insanely durable. Palos, Tino, Bob. I mean, they were killing off Bob, but once the boat was out, how do you kill Tino? How do you kill Palos? Spirit Vessels were up, not enough. The damage of Ken with Desolator, not enough. They needed so much more. Maybe the Divine would have helped here, but not enough time for MIPH to build that one up.
And then I was like, I kind of doubt, what is Bristleback doing here? I thought the hero was washed out. And it actually works so well. I think if I am the MIPH, in my mind is I have too many things to worry about. Like Palos, like I gotta deal with the Kunkka as well. And then Tino coming in with a lot of ghosts. Man, what a performance and what a drive by Team Execration. For MIPH, they did their best in the first game, and the series is just not done yet. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first game. Execration 1, MIPH 0. We're gonna take a break, and we'll be back in around only 10 minutes.